and call tonight's Monday, August 4th legislative session to order at 5:31 PM. If I could please get everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands. All right, thank you, everyone. I'll just remind the council of our shared beliefs of being open and honest this evening, and that'll move us into roll call.
Chair Bowman,
Present.
Vice Chair Perry,
Present.
Mr. Beinecker,
Here.
Mr. Campbell,
Here.
Mr. Malay.
Present.
Mr. Camacho,
Present.
Ms. Morton.
Present.
Let the record show the following staff are in attendance: City Manager Albert Tripp, City Attorney Dan Gibbons, Police Chief Brad Richmond, Public Works Director Catherine Miller, Assistant Clerk Treasurer Tanya Dashiell.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shill. That'll bring us on to item 4, which is tonight's agenda approval. We do not have any changes, council. What say you?
Move to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second, any questions or comments about tonight's agenda? Not seeing any. All those in favor? All right, that passed unanimously. That'll move us on to, we don't see any announcements or presentations. Council reports. Beinecker,
I can't think of anything.
Campbell, Camacho.
I made contact with Zach at Planning Department, and he asked me to score the 6 vendors that submitted an RFP. Well, they all met the city requirements. There were a couple of shortcomings, so I'm going to turn that scoring sheet over to Tanya so she can give it to Zach, and hopefully we'll come up with a vendor who can satisfy the needs of the city as far as a permitting system.
Okay, anything else?
No.
Morton, do you have anything? Mr. Malay?
No report.
All right, thank you. The only thing I have is, and I spoke about this briefly with Mr. Perry, is our family vacation got pushed back a little bit. So we're actually going to be gone from the 8th through the 24th now. So I will try to attend a meeting if I can via online, but I'll still have you run them and whatnot, just for clarity's sake, and you'll be here in person, I assume. So I do appreciate that. I'll move us to staff reports.
Mr. Tripp,
Just a reminder to the Public Works Committee of the meeting right after the council meeting this evening.
Mr. Givens,
No report. Thank you.
Mr. Richmond,
No report.
Ms. Miller,
No report.
and I do not have a report.
All right, thank you. No call for any public hearing. Item 9, or I should say 9, item A is the consent agenda, the approval of minutes from the July 21st city council meeting. Item B is from our July 28th study session meeting minutes. And that is it as far as the consent agenda. Council, what would you like to do about those items?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a second, Mr. Camacho. Thank you. Any questions or comments regarding these? Not seeing any. All those in favor? That passed unanimously. Thank you, council. We'll move us on to item C, action item for the Public Works funding request. Ms. Miller, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Item C is looking at several projects we're trying to apply for in terms of the Public Works Assistance Program. We broke down into 2 different applications. One application is focusing on the roundabouts that we have. Those are the ones we have the most funding for right now and the most imminent to go forward. We felt that was the most competitive application. The second application, actually, we whittled the rest of the list down to focus on phase 1 of Highway 2. In terms of all the work underneath that phase 1 is what we're trying to go for. So both applications are just a little over $2 million. We'll see how we do for the competitive nature of those projects.
All right, council, what would we like to do about the Public Works funding request?
Move to approve. Move to approve Public Works funding request.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, I have a second. Thank you, Mr. Perry. Any questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? Passed unanimously. That'll move us on to item D, which is the 2025 water rate analysis. Ms. Miller, the floor is yours once again.
Thank you. Item D, we discussed last week, and if I could turn your attention to the actual document, I did add a last bullet considering alternatives for revising the city's commercial pre-treatment rates to reduce impacts on local businesses to promote economic development. So that's an item that we felt we could work with FCS in terms of assessing the discussion we had last week.
Thank you. Council, what would we like to do about item D, the 2025 water rate analysis? I have a motion. Do I have a second? All right, you guys both did it at the same time. So who wants it? All right, Mr. Camacho, thank you, sir. Yeah, any questions or comments about item D? Not seeing any. All those in favor? Passed unanimously. That'll move us on to resolution, which is going to be resolution 2025-021 for 16th Ave Row vacation. Mr. Schill, if you'd like to read that in the record.
Resolution 2025-021, a resolution of the City of Airway Heights, Washington, setting a public hearing for consideration of a petition to vacate a portion of the 16th Avenue right-of-way.
All right, thank you. Council, what would you like to do about resolution 2025-021? Or Ms. Miller?
I was going to give you any background information if you'd like, but obviously this is just to set the hearing, so we'll have plenty of time to discuss the details. I did throw the map on visually for you if you'd like to discuss anything.
And the council should be able to consider an ordinance in the normal course with introduction to study session on the 11th, first reading on the 18th, and second reading on whatever the first one is.
After the, after Labor Day.
To consider it.
Okay. All right. Council, what would you like to do about the resolution?
Move to approve.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Have a second. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Any further questions or comments? Not seeing any. All those in favor? Passed unanimously. Is there any call for any executive sessions? Okay. All right. Item 13 is going to be citizen comment. We did have one member of the audience tonight sign up for citizen comment. So what we typically do is we'll just keep it to 2 to 3 minutes. And if we can, traditionally, we keep it to whatever is on the council agenda for this evening, but we totally understand if you want to bring up something extra or something else that's occurring. And if you need additional time, we can also discuss online or offline as well. So Keith, if you'd like to please, or Kenneth, sorry, if you would like to please approach the front. Give us your name, your address. Is it on right now? Okay, thank you, sir.
Kent Pitching, I live on 13100 West First Avenue, and I guess only a couple minutes, but I just want to comment about our street since they opened Craig, and I don't know what was on all those things. So anyways, since they opened the Craig Road, First Avenue going through to Craig, and now they got 6th Avenue blocked. The traffic has been pretty crazy. I'm seeing cars going 40 and 50 miles an hour down our street all the time. I don't think it's real safe, especially in the summer with kids out there playing and all this and that. So I don't know if they can get some speed bumps set up on the street or something to slow the traffic flow somehow. I don't know what you would do, but just something to look at. And then also, with the cars going that fast, we have a lot of vehicles that are parked across the sidewalk. So then people that are walking or riding their bikes, they got to constantly go out the street. And, I'm walking my dogs and I got to go out around the thing. I have 3 dogs I'm trying to hold, and cars are going by at 40 miles an hour, honking at me and flipping me off like, hey, I got to go around this thing that's sticking out across the sidewalk here. I got to, go out the street. It's a residential. You should be slowing down and letting us walk just in the town. Anyway, that's kind of one of the comments I had was just about that. I don't know if that was on the agenda, but what we can do that, you know, and then in the winter time when the RVs are parked out there across the sidewalk, I'm noticing kids that have to walk down the street because of that. And, you know, it's slippery. So cars are going pretty fast up and down the streets when it's snowing. I'm talking about primarily, you know, because I see kids with walkers out there. I don't know if there's a certain deal for that, but anyways, a kid with a walker walking down the middle of the road because the plows went down there and nothing on the sidewalk. And then you got vehicles all across there and you got kids that are walking with walkers down the center of the road. And the only reason I brought it up tonight is I normally work on Monday, so I kind of only had one chance to do it here. So that's pretty much all I wanted to comment about.
All right. Well, no, thank you, sir. And I mean, something to address is we notice that a lot in the city. I mean, nothing's ever going to be perfect as far as, you know, stuff that we do. Sixth Avenue was a great example of that. That's exactly why we got all the traffic mitigation stuff going on in Sixth Avenue with the smaller or the narrower roadways and the big curbs and everything else, because people were driving 40, 50, 60 miles an hour down Sixth Avenue. So this is definitely something that I think we can address in a multitude of ways. Chief, if you would like to speak to it, is, you know, I know that you have a couple measures that you can also perform. And then Mr., I'm not trying to throw you under the bus, but I know that, and then also Albert, if you'd like to speak to this as well.
The chief can probably speak more specific to it, but the timing is well in that he's launching a program that is focused on the same area, actually.
Yeah, Mr. Chair and Council and sir, we have put it out as of today that we're doing a traffic safety emphasis in August to protect our children going back to school and in that area specifically, in between Russell and Airlift Street, in between First and Sixth. And we'll be doing a traffic safety emphasis. We let our community know. So if they do not adhere to that, then my people have been out there. We have done an inordinate amount of traffic enforcement on that street. I think you probably see the red and blue light show there often, but we'll continue to do that. And we've let the community know. We're ahead of that game. We put the safety announcement out, the community safety announcement out today over Facebook. And then my team will continue to engage when they're not on priority calls, that make that traffic safety emphasis in that area priority. So, and then I'll work with my community engagement officer to try to facilitate less people parking across the sidewalk to ensure that our sidewalks are safe for our children to walk.
That's true.
To build on it, I think the chief alluded to it, as he noted, this is throughout the month of August. And this comes on the hill of one of the council members, Councilmember Morton, expressed an interest in just having more emphasis patrols in general because of the same concerns that folks mentioned this evening. So the chief's very proactive and getting organized, and as he indicated, that literally went out today.
Thank you, Mr. Tripp. Go ahead.
Yeah, since we're talking about traffic, I was watching something, I was subject to this too. When you've got traffic going south, coming from, for example, Northern Quest Casino, coming down Hayford, and you're going north, and right around, you know, just past that Walmart, the people coming, you know, toward Walmart, they want to go into Walmart. So they're pulling right in, and sometimes they pull in too prematurely, and there's a left turn lane there for 10th Avenue. And they're coming, and it's almost like a head-on opportunity there. So you're playing chicken, you know. And I think it would be good if we put a concrete, you know, strip to where if you want to move into that left turn lane, you're going to get a wake-up call when you turn into that concrete strip, because man, I've done it myself where I've started to pull in and somebody just starts to want to queue up for that turn in Walmart, and it's almost just a head-on kind of an affair. That's dangerous.
Yeah, I know we previously talked about striping 12th Avenue as well right there, just to give it some, you know, definition of the turn lanes and whatnot.
But you know, just that little concrete barrier, it doesn't have to be very high, but it's enough to keep people from doing this too early.
Yeah.
We can come back with some different options. There's a couple different ways of doing it. One is pinning it to the asphalt, and another is just concreting it in. But Catherine can come back with a couple of options and build this into the 2026 budget. as a way of mitigating, keeping the traffic from conflicting with each other there.
From hitting
Yeah.
each other.
And as far as on First Avenue as well, if there's any other traffic mitigation stuff that we can, temporarily, put out or anything else, I know there's mobile, bumps and everything else that can be put out there or anything else. Believe me, we have looked into this so much, especially on Sixth Avenue. There is a whole host of options. It's just what's feasible for what the residents want, and then also the long term of the city for an investment in those areas. So for us, especially on Sixth Avenue, you see what how much in grant funding did we get for that? It was over $4 million in traffic mitigation for grant funding that we applied for and that we received just for that area. So there's a lot that is in the works as well. But I definitely think that we can do some stuff in the intern to kind of help out. Traffic emphasis patrols is definitely a huge factor. I mean, the more and more people see cops and see red lights and whatnot back there, it definitely helps. But if we could look into some other stuff, maybe we can, that roadway is really wide, just like Sixth Avenue was, up until it gets to the Highland Village project right there. Then it narrows down and then it stays pretty narrow out from where DR Horton has their property all the way out to Craig Road. But I think that area of right by the prison from First Avenue, when you turn off right there, it's really wide open. I definitely know what you're talking about because I've seen it as well. So, and then also camping ordinance that we just passed. I've noticed a lot of RVs and everything else parked on the side of the road over by the Highland Village project and whatnot as well. And can we have those checked on to see if they're camping, to see if they're parked around the roadway. People are in and out of them all day. And Chief, I was going to talk to you about an incident after this that we had with somebody that was going back over there, but parking in front of our neighbor's home and some other stuff. But I think they already reported it. I just wanted to discuss it with you. But yeah, if we can look into those RVs and whatnot, especially those huge campers that are parked along there to see if they're camping, to see what they're doing. I know my neighbors have complained to me about it quite often since we're just right there. So.
The only other observation I make is that the folks, you shouldn't see a reduction in traffic here within the near future. Sixth Avenue is
When
all
Sixth Avenue
done.
gets paved.
So a lot of the people who are currently using First will start circulating back through the other corridors like Sixth.
Yeah, that'll definitely help when Sixth, because I think we're scheduled to get that paved here pretty quick, right?
10 is to pave it out before school starts.
Okay, so yeah, that should be paved out, hopefully in the next few weeks as well. And then,
Couple of things to Ms. Miller, I believe on our transportation long-term plan, we've have a concrete turn barrier also planned for South Hayford going into the Maverick. I know that's been a trouble spot too. I believe that was brought up too. Jill's nodding her head. Is that right, Albert?
yeah, people left turn.
Yeah,
in there.
Part of the Hayford Road
Right, Hayford
repavement
Road,
project,
yeah.
which is supposed to start construction next year.
Because it's another troublesome area. And then just, thinking about, I'm sure we've looked into it, all the grants we procure, but Spokane has speed cameras around their school zones. I mean, the cost of those and whatnot, but there's so many areas, but something that we could look into if we haven't, but.
Yeah, and we've had individuals bring up to us so much in the past regarding, can we have the speed light systems where they flash real bright or flash between the red and the blue. And like, hey, it's not a cop, but it kind of is. There's lots of different stuff that we can do. We've looked into so much. So yeah, if you'd like to leave an email or anything else with us tonight, we can also follow back up with you as well. So we can absolutely do that. All right. Anything else? Is there any other citizen from online who would like to bring anything up to council? If so, please raise your hand. I am not seeing any. All right, no call for any workshops, no call for any executive sessions. We'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 5:50 p.m. Thank you.
Quick like a bunny rabbit.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming by. I've